Hello, this is John Hart again, and we'll be charting run times in Excel. And many of you probably already know how to do this, and I apologize if this is redundant. So this is for my 1 mile route in my neighborhood, running the same route so we can compare apples to apples from session to session. Been doing this route for about a year. Started April 1st last year, and my last run was a couple days ago. And the times are here, 8:26 and so forth. And then going down a little bit over time. And it works a little better if we can get this in a chart form and look at it, the big picture in a glance. So left click in this blank cell, the title of the column is up here. It works a little better when this is blank. Left click and highlight both columns. We'll do just a few sessions there. We'll go up to insert and chart area. We'll click on the line format and we'll click again on the first one with dots. And it's including dates in between the run sessions. So I like to just have just the dates I ran. So I right click on that and format axis, left click. And then over here, I'll click on text axis. So just the dates of actual runs. And we can hold the mouse over a dot. Each dot is a day run session with a time. And in the little box there below the arrow, we can see the date. April 10th, and that time was 8:36. Let's get rid of that. April 10th, 8:36 is there. And when we click on the chart, Excel will point to the data that's in the chart. So let's include all the sessions, all 50 of them. I've got a column here with sequence numbers. And here's the updated chart. Looks a little different. We could use some better detail, resolution, instead of 0 as the minimum. Let's come up closer to here. So we'll right click and format axis. And the numbers over here, maximum is 0.4, so that's different than the time format. So we'll play along with that. Let's try 0.3 for minimum. The point is already there, so we don't want to add more than one decimal place, just one, and we'll just type in the 3 and see what that looks like. Looks like that went a little too far. So let's bring back that function. Let's try 2.5. That's a little better. Let's try and get a little better resolution, 0.26. And that looks pretty good. And I've got notes in column. So I started track repeats on April 23rd. I was talking to Coach Ashley and asking her what I could do to get faster than what I was doing here. And one of the things she recommended was track repeats. And I started that on April 23rd. So let's hover the mouse over here, and April 18th, May 3rd. So right in between these two, I started the track repeats. So not much change on May 3rd, but after that, May 20th, looks like there's a noticeable decrease in the time. So I thought that was good. A good change, and it stayed down there for the most part. This coming up just a little bit, but not as high as it was over here. So this is kind of characteristic, what I call a phase here. And then the next phase are these down here where it's kind of up and down, a little more consistent here, but pretty much up and down. So this is kind of phase 2, as I call it. And over here, I started what's known as fartlek training on September 9th. So let's see if we can find that. Hovering the mouse here, September 4th and the 11th. So in between here, I started that training, and not much change, maybe just one session, but pretty much the same as before. Then the third phase, I think, is this here. Pretty much lower on average than these over here on average. It's similar to that one, but the majority are higher times than this. And this is also a characteristic of a group that's more consistently, as opposed to the up and down, high time, lower time. And so I did have a change down here, more hill repeats starting December 9th. Let's see if we can zero in on that. December 9th. So this is December 4th, December 11th. So in between here, starting some hill repeats, and it looks like by the 18th, so about 10 days later, 9 days later, it looks like it's having a good effect of better than the average here and consistent. And one other thing I did was I abbreviated as SHS, steep hill sprints in my neighborhood. I started doing that on February 12th, where I picked several hills in the neighborhood that I saw that were pretty steep, and they're short and steep, and they're about a half of a tenth of a mile long, 0.05 miles, February 12th. So this is February 5th and 11th, so right after that, in between, and not much change. However, the fastest run I've done in all these was right here a couple days ago. So maybe the steep hill sprints are helping me get personal best record here with that time of 6 minutes, 57 seconds. So finally broke into the world of 6 minutes, barely. Just under 7 minutes. So this is a way you can keep track of what might be working to help you improve your run times on a certain route that you have. And I hope this helps, and thank you for watching.